So I just found out that the gasket kit, front and rear main seal, should be here tomorrow or the next day. So I'm gonna take this out and hot wash it, because once I've swapped all the parts, it'll be getting fresh coat of paint and new hoses put on, and then it's ready to go in, which truck's in the shed ready to go. So that's the plan. We'll hook up, take it out, and I'll get all this baked on stuff off it, which should be fun and should take a while, but we'll get there. Right, so the clutch and flywheel is unbolted. Lucky I brought a new clutch, because this one's more worn than the one in the Kenworth, so that wouldn't have been any good either. Flywheel's there. I'm going to drop that in to get machined, and I'll get a new spigot bearing, and that's inside the bell housing. It's still got the standard rear main seal, not the oversized one, so I've ordered the oversized one, and I'll put that on just because it's obviously had that one, the standard one, for a long time. They said most of the time by now they would have been changed to an oversized one anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised it's still got the standard one in it. The starter motor looks a bit worse for wear, and it's got whatever that is. I don't know if that's the bushing out of the end, but I might unbolt that starter motor and have a look and maybe see if the one off the Kenworth engine's any better and use that. But I'm just gonna seal everything up so I can go wash it, and yeah, so it's ready for paint. So I'll seal it up and we'll go from there. So I've pulled this starter motor off because I think I'm going to use the other one. This one's got a fair bit more play in the gear, and it's got a couple of broken teeth like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to use the other one. Plus I reckon that's what, I don't know where I put that bit of steel, but right there. That's what was in the bell housing, so I'd say that's probably a part of the bush out of that, maybe. So I think the other one will be a better starter motor. I've got blue cat plugs on the openings that I can remember. I'll undo these silicone hoses, and then we'll go give it a wash. So I just finished washing it and got it back in the shed. It's a fair bit cleaner than it was. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better. So now I will start swapping bits over. Well, I'm waiting for my gasket kit, front and rear main seal, and that should hopefully be here tomorrow, which is tomorrow's Friday. So I've got a bit to do if I want to have it enough to upload a video for Sunday morning, but see how we go. I'm going to go drop the flywheel in to be machined today, and yeah, hopefully the gaskets show up. Kenworth have my rear engine mounts and new headlining in. They're just waiting for the front engine mount rubbers. They're been discontinued apparently. That's them there. These ones are decent enough, but yeah, I just thought I'd get new ones. They've been discontinued and there's only 2 left in the country, so I bought them. So I'll wait for them to come and I'll put new ones in. So my gasket and seal kit showed up, which is good. They were very fast and easy to deal with, so if any of you guys need any of the basic stuff for 92s, they can get other stuff for 71s and that sort of stuff, but they don't keep it on the shelf, so it's usually a few weeks out or when their next shipment comes in. But yeah, they've got 92 stuff on the shelf ready to go, pretty much. So where'd it come from? ITR, earth moving machinery and parts in, I think they're in Brisbane and Melbourne as far as I know. There might be other places as well, but yeah, I ordered these last Friday and it's Thursday today and they got here today. They had the gasket kit in Melbourne, but they just had to wait on the rear main and the front crank seal. That had to come down from Brisbane, but yeah, so that's here now, and it was like so much cheaper than genuine, and it's good brand FP diesel. What I've read and heard, you can't really go wrong. So yeah, that's the wear sleeve for the back of the crank to put the oversized rear main seal on. I think I showed you before that the engine still has the standard crank seal. Rocker cover gaskets, front crank seal, another rocker cover gasket, and I'll just show you quickly what comes in the complete overhaul gasket kit, just so you know the front and rear main seals aren't included in the overhaul gasket set. You have to buy them separate. So there's a part number and there's everything that's included in the kit. So just for reference, the OEM Detroit overhaul gasket kit was $1,300 from one place and $1,600 from the other, and from ITR with the FP brand that was like $450. And anyway, all up with the seals and rocker cover gaskets, it'd come to $850 including shipping, so can't really complain with that. And I think I said before that my roof lining and rear engine mounts are in from Kenworth, just waiting on the front ones, which were discontinued, so that come from a dealer out in Queensland. So yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow I have time to start swapping things over since I've had distractions all week. Get it ready to paint, and then I'll go get some paint and get paint for the chassis rails, drop that flywheel in to be machined, and then also in the other shed I've got a power steering conversion kit, just a second-hand one that come off an S2 that will replace that hydraulic assist steering, so it does away with this drag link here that's turned into it's like a control valve. So when you turn the steering wheel each way, it moves and gives hydraulic oil to one of those 4 hoses, and just works like a spool and gives oil to that ram down there connected to the axle, and just gives you power steering. But by converting to full power steering with the power steering box, it cuts the amount of turns from full lock left to full lock right in half, like from 9 turns to 4.5 turns or something like that. So it makes it a lot more drivable, and it gets rid of all these hoses which are sort of a bit old and frail anyway, so I want to get rid of them. Just got to change the spring hanger, and then you bolt the power steering box on, and then replace the drag link with a normal drag link, which I've got all that. I'm just not sure if the box is actually any good, but we'll find out when we put it on. I don't want to reseal it just yet because it's going to put me behind waiting for a seal kit. And once that spring hanger's on, it's easy to pull the box off. You can do that anytime. So that's the plan at this stage. I've got 8 new airbags on the way from a company that's looking after me, so I'll have to give them a bit of a shout out when I'm fitting those. And then I got to get 4 new shockers for the back, as you can see. One down there, sort of see it. That one snapped the thread off at the top, so I'll replace all 4 on the back, and then probably do boosters as well, but it's getting a bit ahead. We'll go back to the engine. But yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully tomorrow I get a few hours of playtime to start stripping it and swapping stuff over, so I can get onto paint, and then I'll go get paint for the engine and the rails. So that's it for tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll get back into it hopefully. Out here the next morning, we're gonna make a start swapping stuff over. I don't know what it is with Fridays and rain, but anyway, it's meant to be summer. So I'll set the camera up and we will get to swapping things over. So I've got the sump off this engine. It looks pretty good in there. There's a little bit of sludge in there, but overall it's not too bad. So the reason the sump's off is I've got to turn this sump around. It should be the same if I turn it around, but I also have to change the oil pickup tube right here, because that's going to have to go to the back of the engine because the sump will be at the back. So I'm going to have to pull the sump off the other engine now and use the pickup off that, because it'll probably, I don't know, it might come along the back with a tube and then dip down. I'm not sure what it'll have, so I'll go take it off and see what the differences are. So here's that pickup I need. You can see it goes right to the back and it's still connected at the front. So we'll take that one off. For some reason, someone's already cut and shut this sump, so I think I'll try and use the other one. They look the same either way, so they should go. I should bolt on the other way, but I'll get this pickup off and then I can put that on the other engine, and I want to look at a main bearing and a big end bearing on the other engine over there as well. So I'll get the pickup off and go pull a couple of caps off. I'm just about to drop a bearing cap off. I'll push you over so you can see. Alright. So yeah. I had to loosen the bolts on the back main cap as well so I could get these plates out the way. And then if I loosen this bolt, undo it and give it a wiggle, we can have a look at the cap. These have also got numbers on them. You can see if it focuses. Number 3 right there, that has to go back in the same spot, so it just goes directly like that. And we'll have a look at the bearing. See if I can hold both of these somehow. So it's not too worn, but what you see, those marks that you see there, they're not ideal. Overall, it's not too bad, and it's got good oil pressure, so I don't know about. It's got a bit of wear, but it's not too bad. I might go back to the manual and have a look and just see what they say about marks in it. So it doesn't have any big grooves, but yeah, just depends what the other ones are like. The bottom caps the bottom bearings are always the worst because they're the load bearing ones. They're holding the weight of the crankshaft up. So the bottom ones are always worn more, and they're pretty good considering. So it's just whether I want to wait for bearings or not, if I want to replace them. I might sit this one back up there and undo the back one and have a look. I just pulled a cap off that old engine, so that's the one off the old engine, that's the one off this engine, and you can see that one there is a fair bit worse than that one. That one's pretty good considering. So I think I'm gonna just bolt it back up for now, and worst case, if I have to put some bearing shelves in it, or who knows, I might put it in and it may even need a rebuild, but I'm just not quite prepared to rebuild it just yet in case it doesn't. But the only other thing that kind of worries me is, I don't know if you can see, up in there, the cylinder, there's not much cross-hatching yet. It's pretty shined up. So yeah, there's not much cross-hatching left, and it may bypass a bit of oil. So, but I think I'm prepared to put it in, and if I have to rebuild it, I have to rebuild it. I can do it, it's not a big deal. I just prefer to put it in there and see what else it needs. So yeah, I think we'll put that bearing cap back up on there and put the sump on, and we'll just send it and see. And if I have to rebuild it down the track, or if it's no good, then it is what it is, and I'll rebuild it when the time comes. So yeah, I think I'll stick that back up there and torque it up. Another thing I noticed was these are the bolts out of the old engine, 15-16 head on them, and then these ones here, 3/4 head, they still say 92, but instead of Detroit symbol, I think they say FC maybe. So they must be aftermarket main bolts, I'd say. But I'll do that back up and torque it, and swap that oil pickup down there on with a new gasket, clean the sump out, and put the sump on with new gasket around the other way, and then we'll swap over some of the other stuff. So I've decided to put it back together because I think it just needs to be run and see what happens. So that's my plan there. Stick it back together, and if it needs work later on, then I'll deal with that when we get to it, or otherwise it'll be one of those things that sits here for months waiting for me to get time to do it. So yeah, it'll go back together.
I just gave the sump and pickup a wash, and I noticed it's been repaired before, and you can see that big crack there. So now I have to pull this apart and weld that. It's always something. So I weld that, and then it should be able to go back on along with the sump, and then I'll feel a bit better that I've achieved something. So I'll go weld this and stick it back on. So it turns out that those sumps are different, and although they look the same, the bolt holes are not quite the same. I should have looked a bit harder, so that's why this sump over here has been cut, turned and welded. So I'm going to have to use that sump now on this one, which is annoying after I wash this one, but anyway, I'll go wash the other one now. Okay, I've got a bit of a setup going on here because the front pulley seems to be quite tight. So the proper way, if I had all the Detroit tools, there's a thread in there, in here, and you'd put a special front pulley puller, but I don't have that, of course. So I have just a normal hydraulic 10-ton 3-jaw puller, and I've somehow fit the legs in there, and I'm going to see if I can get it off. So we'll see how this goes. It'll probably fly off and hit me in the leg because I don't have the washer on. But anyway, got so much stuff on.
This is where things started to get pretty serious. So don't hold that against me. It was my last resort, but the pulley was okay. We cut this off afterwards. So it's just a bit of solid with a nut welder in the back that we could put a bolt up the middle, and you can see how easy it come off with the right, well, half the right tool. So if anyone has a proper crank pulley puller or any other Detroit tooling they want to sell, let me know. I'd love to buy it.
My last job for today, get this shocker off, so when I go get 8 new airbags on Monday, so I'll give him this old shocker here as a sample so they can get some more, because I need 4 for the back. The 2 on the front will be alright for now, but the 4 on the back are broken in various ways, which I'll show you right now. So you can see that one there has decided to break off on the bottom, or it's not broken, the nut's still there, but obviously it's been worn out and the rubber's pulled through. And then this one's broken up the top there, so I'm just going to pull this off. Hopefully it doesn't spin, and so I've got something to take in with me, and I can use the maroon paint as a sample to get some paint made up. You would Battery went flat. It's always the way. Now I can jam my finger with no light. How good. It was so close to. It's all I needed, that much more. Okay. One shocky. So we'll take that in and hopefully can get 4 new ones. And we'll go from there. So, got an absolute mess in the shed here. I didn't get as much time this week to work on it as I would have liked, but that's all right. Hopefully next week I have a bit more time. My plan next week is to Saturday today, so I'll do this video, put it up in the morning, and then Monday I'll go get paint for the engine, new radiator hoses all round, like all the silicone pipes and stuff. I'm going to change all them. What else am I getting? I get airbags, shockers, alternator belts, fan belts, the seal and bearing for the alternator drive. That seal was stuffed. It was had 2 cracks in it and it's rock solid, so that would have never sealed. And drop flywheel in to be machined. That'll get machined and then I can get that back. And then once I've swapped everything, flywheel on, clutch on, hoses swapped, front rear main seal done, I should be able to put it in. The only other thing that is questionable is I want to change these fuel lines over at some point, because the ones on the original Kenworth engine are also pretty ratty looking, and the hoses for the external oil filter down here that's mounted on the chassis, I'd like to change those too, I think. But yeah, I think I can do that later on. So yeah, and I got the engine mounts and the hood lining, the roof lining at Kenworth to pick up. So I got plenty of places to go Monday. That'll take me half the day. And then, yeah, it should be good. And I'll get some maroon paint for the chassis so that I can paint in where all that green is and grey, and it doesn't look very good. That's the other oil filter. It's got 2, there, because it's got that, and it's got the one on the right hand side of the block down there, which the Louisville didn't have 2 there. Finger's got to point backwards. It's weird. So yeah, that's the plan. Also got to change that spring hanger to power steering spring hanger, like I was saying, so that I can put power steering box on, because those bolts go through the chassis rail and the engine mount, and they're obviously much easier to do now with the engine out rather than when the engine is in. So yeah, I'm going to change that spring hanger too. So that's about it for today, because I've got to go edit this video, or otherwise you're not going to have anything to watch for those who care. So I'm sorry that not as much happened this week as what I would have liked. Too many other things on the go and other stuff breaking. Nothing's easy. So, but yeah, got a few bits swapped and I'm a bit further ahead. So that's all I can do. There's probably going to be another 6 parts before the truck's actually running, but oh well, hopefully not that many because Christmas time's coming, so I should have more time to work on it, hopefully. Probably just be busier, but yeah, I'll have a crack and I'm hoping to have it going by around Christmas, have it at least running and moving under its own power. So we'll go with that. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all you new subscribers and all the comments, and for everyone who's enjoying. Those lights are really bright. Yeah, so keep liking, subscribing, sharing. I enjoy it. I enjoy reading and replying to you guys, so yeah, it's great. Next week we'll do more stuff and wing it some more. Thanks for watching. See ya.